Police handed one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims back to him. In 1991, 3 women found a badly injured 14-year-old boy crouched in the street outside Dahmer's Milwaukee apartment. They called police and tried to protect him. Then Dahmer appeared. Calmly, he told the officers that the boy was his boyfriend and that they were having a domestic argument. The women insisted something was wrong. The boy was disoriented and visibly injured, but the officers believed Dahmer. They walked the boy back to his apartment. Inside, one officer noticed a foul smell. What he did not know was that another victim's body was already decomposing nearby. The police left. Dahmer killed the boy shortly afterwards. It was one of the most shocking missed chances in American criminal history. Not long later, another man entered that same apartment. This time, the victim got out. To most people, Jeffrey Dahmer seemed quiet, awkward, and soft-spoken. He worked at a chocolate factory. He told his probation officer that he was lonely, depressed, and sometimes suicidal. But behind his apartment door, the evidence was building. Neighbors complained about crashing noises, the sound of a chainsaw, and a terrible smell. Dahmer was already on probation for sexually assaulting a young man. Years earlier, he had been arrested for indecent exposure. Men he met at bathhouses had been drugged after drinking with him. The warning signs existed, but they were scattered, dismissed, or never connected. Then Dahmer met 32-year-old Tracy Edwards and invited him back to the apartment to take photographs. Once inside, Edwards immediately sensed that something was wrong. There was a large oil drum in the room. The apartment smelled rotten. The Exorcist Part 3 was playing. Then Dahmer managed to fasten one handcuff around Edwards' wrist. He picked up a knife. Dahmer pressed his head against Edwards' chest, listened to his heartbeat, and calmly told him that he intended to rip out his heart and eat it. Edwards knew that panic could get him killed, so he kept talking. For hours, he tried to keep Dahmer calm, waiting for a moment when his attention slipped. Then, when the opportunity came, Edwards punched him in the face and ran. He escaped into the street with the handcuffs still hanging from one wrist. Naked and almost hysterical, he flagged down a police car. He told the officers that a crazed man had threatened to kill him and had held him captive for 5 hours. This time, the police listened. Edwards led them back to the apartment. Inside, officers found a knife. Then one of them opened a drawer and pulled out a collection of photographs. They showed human bodies in different stages of dismemberment. The officer stared at them and told his partner, "These are for real." The officers wrestled Dahmer to the floor and placed him in restraints. As they held him down, Dahmer managed to say, "For what I did, I should be dead." Then they opened the refrigerator. Inside was a human head. The apartment was no longer a suspected crime scene. It was a catalog of murder. Police and medical examiners personnel found 7 skulls, severed heads, partially skeletonized bodies, a human heart, and bags of human muscle. They recovered the drugs Dahmer used to sedate people, the tools used to dismember them, and photographs documenting what he had done. There was no mystery left about whether Dahmer was a killer. The next question was how many people he had killed. During questioning, Dahmer did not deny his crimes. He began describing them in detail. He told detectives that he had drugged and strangled victims, preserved body parts, and drilled into the skulls of some men because he believed he could turn them into obedient zombie companions. His confession helped police identify the dead. 4 victims found in the apartment were identified through fingerprints. Others were confirmed through identification cards and dental records. Investigators eventually connected Dahmer to 17 murders, but the arrest created another scandal. Many of his victims were gay, African American, or poor. Critics argued that disappearances involving people on the margins of society had not been treated with enough urgency. Public anger focused especially on the 14-year-old boy police had returned to Dahmer, despite the women in the street begging them to intervene. Dahmer had not hidden his crimes with brilliance. His grandmother had complained about strange smells. Neighbors had complained about noise and decay. He had previous convictions. He was on probation. Police had stood inside his apartment and walked away. On February 15, 1992, Dahmer was sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms. Another life sentence was later added. In 1994, he was attacked by another prisoner and died shortly afterwards. But Jeffrey Dahmer was not caught by a perfect investigation, a forensic breakthrough, or a carefully connected pattern of missing people. He was caught because Tracy Edwards survived. He stayed calm, he waited, he fought back, and he made sure the police finally opened the door. For years, Dahmer had operated almost in full view of the authorities. It took one man escaping that apartment to make them see what had been there all along.